Hey everybody, it's Thea. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today's video is going to be a fun June garden update, as well as incorporating a little bit of how I tarot. I do a lot of talking about tarot and not like the most ever of showing it. So I thought today would be a fun day to kind of incorporate a lot of what the world looks like to me, as opposed to the way I look at the world. Yes? Is that correct? I don't know. But this will be more of kind of a step into my like tarot practice a little bit. It changes, it's different. There's a lot of things that go on in various facets and forms, but just in the form of a deeper than average reading, setting up a little bit of space for myself and diving right in. And I'll give you a little bit of a hint into the internal mind workings that go on as I'm reading, as well as incorporating that bit of the practice into my experience in the garden, as well as a June garden tour. So there's going to be a lot going on, but it's hopefully going to flow together really nicely. I have high hopes for this. And yeah, just a chance to get to see what's growing and blooming in the ground as well as my mind. So without any further ado, I shall not keep you any longer with waiting with bated breath. Let's get into it. This is my June garden and how I tarot. And first, for the beginning, a sacred space. Cleansed, weeded, cleared, made ready for the work that is to come. Now we must make a decision. Deciding what to ask, deciding what to put where, forming an intention, and building on that intention from there. In order to move on from that place, you need to be able to see the future, know what it is you want, and what you want that future to look like, how you want your intention to grow and change, and what you will do to help that intention along and get where it is that it needs to go. It will be a battle. There will be shadows, there will be weeds. Things will need narrowed down, broadened out, reconfigured, reshaped. But know that that original intention, that seed that you planted, will grow, and one day will eventually turn into that flower that you always wanted it to. So choose the seed and plant it. Choose the question and ask it. Listen for guidance when it is presented. And know in your heart that what you decide to do is what was always meant to happen. Tarot is a mirror for the human soul. We all know this. But so is a garden. So let it affect you profoundly. Your soul is your true self. It is absolute truth. It is an all without comparison, without a body, without time. How are you connecting with that true self? How are you trying to find it? Is it through earthly things? Through religion? Worship? Organized societal structures? Is it a way that has already been paved? Be sure to steer your cart towards what you know in your bones is right. What does your intuition tell you? A happy ever after means that the story is over. Happily, but it's still over. Two trees, one of knowledge, one of life. Between them is sight, the sight of everything. The world is what we see of it. It is our experience and our experience only. A knowledge of life. Knowledge and life. When a story ends, do you pick up another? Remember, it is you who's holding the book. You can close it. Who are you? Who are you really? Decide. Tarot is a mirror for the human soul, and so is a garden. A garden is a mountain that can never be scaled, can never be conquered. We know a garden will never be finished, yet we toil anyway. It morphs and changes every day. This too mirrors the human soul, evolving and growing every moment. One day is never the same as the next in the garden, and it will never be as it ever was before. Every single moment is precious, because it will never be there again, a reflection of ourselves. Knowing it will never be finished, but we do the work anyway. Knowing it all will die, but we keep it alive anyway. Seeing the beauty in every single second, and letting it go each year anyway. That is the hard joy of the garden. Beauty is fleeting, but that's what makes it so precious. Long, long hours spent on the end of a spade, or with knees planted firmly on the earth, elbows deep in the weeds, deep in meditation, feeling the skin of the planet, feeling it with our whole being, knowing we are a part of this, our bodies, and they'll return to it someday. That's what makes it so precious. Moments spent deep in thought, connected to the earth and connecting to ourselves. Not the selves on parade to the world, but the selves that come out when no one is looking. The truer self. The selves free to frolic in the flowers, free of self-judgment, free of any cruelty. It's our inner child. It's our wild woman. It is she who cares for that which sustains us all. That's what makes it so precious. To be completely naked is to be one's true self. To be naked is to be without disguise. And what a joy that is to live your life without disguise. Authenticity, purest joy, exhilaration stemmed from the smallest of things. That's why this is so precious. The world is a garden. The garden. A garden where the tree of life and the tree of knowledge are there just waiting to be discovered. It is our garden. And it is beautiful. I will make a point to say that it isn't all sunshine and roses. This is peak beauty, peak growth. Everything is full, nothing is let go yet. There are trials and tribulations though. Battles to be fought and lost against the bugs, against the frost, against myself and my own poor decisions, against the heat, against the lack of water. There's just always something coming up against me. But we do it anyway. The garden has taught me so much. Acceptance, patience, lowering my standards, appreciating what is there and not lamenting what is not. It's taught me of the cycles of life and death in a more real way than I could have imagined. Some of the most beautiful things cost me nothing. And some of my biggest investments were failures. It's not about the money you put in. It's about the heart. And the sweetness. But more importantly, it's about the joy that you eke out of it. The connection. The learning, the being friendly with the earth, seeing what it can do with a few small seeds, some water and time. Each year never fails. Something grows. Something always will grow. It will never be the same, but it will always grow. It sustains itself. It's absolutely incredible. Most surprisingly, it has taught me to let go of control. Not be so fussed with things going exactly how you want them to, because they absolutely never will. Just let go of the control. Let life happen. Let the universe just happen the way it's going to happen. And enjoy it for what does. Because you can't control everything. And why would you want to anyway? When left to its own devices, it does such beautiful things. So this garden is about 4 years in the making. It's early days, but there are relics of past time gone by.
family heirlooms, flowers that will last decades more, record keepers, plants that have seen more than I ever will. And that's an exciting thought. But I love the idea of planting a tree and knowing that it will see more than I ever will. So that it will watch the sun come up on days that I will not. That it will mark the passage of time with its rings long after I am worm food. Life goes on. The earth goes on. And it's absolutely magical. Contentment is a well-kept secret about feeling joy. It's a soft joy, a gentle joy, but joy nonetheless. And it's contentment that is the seed of that joy. And it grows quietly and slowly, like an oak tree. And one day, you'll turn around and it will be absolutely majestically magnificent. And you'll wonder however it got there. But it was you who planted that seed. You who set that intention. You who saw the future and hoped for the absolute best. And given enough time, it would reach that absolutely wondrous place, and it would have you to thank for it.
Biggest thank you for hanging out for this video. I really appreciate it. This is a very open and vulnerable look at what I do in my life and the way I do it, and it's the way I experience the beauty of life, and this time of year particularly, it's very rewarding. Me in the garden, woohoo. So yes, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. If you want ever to book a reading with me, my website is linked down below. It is open. Readings are available. DM me if you want a custom spread or have any deck requests. I'd be happy to do it. I look forward to hearing from you, and I will see all of you fine people in my next video.